What is going on, world? Hello, hello, hello. All right, all right, all right. What's going on, world? Sports Game Vision here, back with another Friday Night Live. I hope everyone is doing well tonight, this evening. They've done well for this week. Yesterday was a good day, Thanksgiving, and today is Black Friday. If you're out there shopping, be safe. Don't spend too much money. Save as much as you can, but also get everything you need to get as well. I know that the next holiday is coming up, and beyond that, just wanting to be able to buy the things that you want for yourself and your family to enjoy currently. So, we are here in the building again for another Friday edition of my show, and I waited a few minutes to help people to to let people join in. Friday Night Live every Saturday on YouTube. Sorry, every Friday on YouTube. I'm thinking about my other show that I'm thinking about doing. I'm gonna pop that graph up here. The late night hype. I'm thinking about doing that every Saturday and Sunday. I enjoy doing that, and I think that people that have commented in the comment section, have liked it as well. But this is the main show, the A show, as they call it. Friday Night Live, Sports Game Vision, where we talk NBA and sports talk. If you're in the building, if you're anywhere around, or if you're post show and you watch the show, make sure you hit the button, all the positive buttons. Yeah, hit the like button, the follow, subscribe, follow the channel, and make sure you do that to every platform that you go to and support the content creators that are there. It helps a whole lot just coming in and liking and subscribing and sharing and hitting the notification bell. And of course, this is my other contact information. If you want to get in contact with Sports Game Vision and support the channel, and we are going to do a countdown and then start the show. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Again, another edition of the Friday Night Live. And if you see the graphic here, you see some of the topics that I'm going to cover here. Um, a lot was going on in this sports world, and I've been trying to put the show together for you. But the main topic of the day, especially on these Fridays, is to talk about the NBA in-season tournament. I see there's quite a mixture of people that like and do not like the in-season tournament. And right now, let me say hello, man. I haven't said hello. You get to see Hank over here. Sports Game Vision. I'm Hoodie Hank today. Hoodie Hank. Yeah, man. Had to get a little bundled up today. I'm a little bit cold, but I'm here to do the show. But anyhow, let's go back into our Friday Night Live. We're gonna jump into the NBA in season tournament, and let's take a look at these games today. Oh yeah, we've got group play today. Boston, that game should have already concluded. Or Boston and Orlando. You've got Phoenix and Memphis. You've got Miami and New York. You've got Chicago and Toronto. You've got Detroit and Indiana. Denver and Houston should be a good game there. Washington, Milwaukee, Sacramento, Minnesota. You've got San Antonio, Golden State, and then you've got New Orleans and the Los Angeles Clippers, which I feel is a sleeper game of the night. And all these teams have been playing really hard to get this money. Again, I told you, I think in my poll that I put on the page is about 50-50 of people that like and don't like the tournament. But with that being said, I'm going to play a clip of somebody that kind of does like the in-season tournament. It's Damian Lillard. They're playing for other reasons beyond just it being for themselves, it's for their teammates. And we're going to actually play what he had to say here.
I think it's a situation where it's a tournament. You know, you want to win that first of all, but for us in our position, you know, guys like myself and Giannis, Chris, you know, Brooke as well, we've made a lot of money. But I think as a leader and somebody who cares about your teammates, especially your younger teammates, you got guys on two-way contracts, guys who are, you know, trying to earn their stay. And, you know, that prize in the end it could change their families' lives. And I think you don't want to, you know, make everything about money, but that's something that we can do for people around us. Our coaches, you know, they get a percentage of the same thing. So, like I said, it gives you something to get up for and be excited about, even if it's not for you individually. It's something that you could do for the next person. And, you know, I think that's worth us battling it out for.
We heard what Damien had to say there. It's kind of something I've been stressing. I've been talking about this for the last few weeks since these in-season tournaments have been going on, about the pride of trying to help people out financially. That $500,000 is a big deal to a lot of the players, even the guys that do have money. I watched podcast P. He even talked about how that was very enticing to the guys when they brought it to the table at the contract. They said initially they offered $1 million, but they knocked it down to $500,000. But everybody getting that money is very significant. You understand? So even with Damian Lillard, it's something he can buy and splurge on for his family. But the guys that are on the lower part of the roster that are trying to get that money, the coaching staff, I don't know if it played on that part. The coaching staff gets a lot of that money as well. So there's a lot to play for. And if you've watched the games, again, it's very, very competitive. These teams are really going at each other to try to win that tournament group. I'm trying to see if I pull the graph up with the actuals. No, I don't have that part with the actual records. But yeah, I mean, like right now, I just seen that the Orlando Magic beat the Boston Celtics. I had chose that game. Actually, I thought that Orlando would win. Right now, the Memphis Grizzlies are playing the Phoenix Suns, and the Suns are on top of the Grizzlies. Another game that I chose so far. I feel like the Suns should win that game as well. And then if you go down that list, I think New York is going to get Miami. I believe Toronto's going to get Chicago. Unfortunately, I believe Indy's going to take the Pistons. I think that Houston has a great shot. That's a game. That's a great game right there against Denver. I'm going to go with Denver, though. Washington and Milwaukee. I'm going with Milwaukee. Sacramento and Minnesota. I am going to go with. It's a tough one. I'm going to go with Minnesota. They've been playing really well. I looked at the chart today. They've got 3 players in the best defensive rating in the league. So I'm going to rock with them. Then we got San Antonio and Golden State. Golden State should get this game unless they got everybody out. And then I'm going, man, Clippers have been playing well, but I'm going to go with New Orleans. I'm going to go with New Orleans on this one. I'm going to go with New Orleans. But with that being said, what Damian Lillard said is absolutely true. I've been trying to stress that you know, LeBron James and the gang over here, they said as well that they're playing for it, and they got the best record in the conference in group play, and they've already clinched the playoff berth into the in-season tournament. That Final Four, they'll be able to play, which I guess would be like the equivalence of the conference finals or the Final Four, the NCAA tournament. And you know, those guys are going to go after it. It's a great feat for a team to win that tournament. I feel like someone like the Lakers even are trying to find their identity. They get it all right off the back. Of course, if it was another team that were younger or something, or having other struggles, like even the Clippers or something, they will win it. I think it could help with inside the locker room. But of course, You listen to these players, man. They've been saying the money, the money, the money is absolutely the driving force, and a little bit of the trophy itself. Just being competitive. They want to just, you know, have that competition on saying, "Hey, I'm the best. I've got that trophy, and you don't." Alrighty. Uh, Let me switch gears here, guys. We're going to jump into my guy here. I've been holding off on him for a couple days, but I got a couple topics about him. We're going to jump in and talk about Jordan Poole. He does not belong in the league. This is strong words from the Hall of Famer and the NBA champion, MVP of the league, Kevin Garnett. I want you guys to check this out right quick.
You watching Jordan Poole?
No, that's not much watch TV.
It's
I
not,
thought
bro.
it was.
I'm crushed, bro. Bro out here wanting to be everything other than a basketball player. I saw some joint where he was talking to a teammate on the joint. He wasn't looking at the play. Like, Lord, that ain't no leader. Ain't nobody on the team listening to you.
He flexing that ring though over there. That's what it is.
What ring?
Like he
Bro,
can't, he's over there like I'm a champ.
Yeah, but you ain't acting like it. A champ, you ain't acting like it. You ain't bringing champ environment in here.
Right.
You learned this in Golden State? This what you brought from
No, you ain't learned this.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Professionals, bro. They got out there because you go and fall in line, bro. That's what I'm saying. This don't belong in our league, bro. Bro, you in the league. He does not belong in the league. He's the head of a team, P. Nah, I don't want my son under no like that. You see how he talking to teammates? This is my team. I got it. Nigga joining up the joint, looking all through the towel, snot. Like, bro, you can say whatever you want about me, bro. I ain't never disrespected the game. I ain't never disrespected the position of being a leader.
So, they ain't got what vets they got over there, though?
Bro,
you got vets?
Bro, you just said you the champion. You the vet. You came in here with championship energy. He had your girl too, bro. He had your girl in the joint there. He had your girl in the building.
He's supposed to go for 50.
Well, you heard what the Hall of Famer had to say there about Jordan Poole. It's kind of crazy that he's not been having the best season. That trade went through right now is looking like, honestly, like Golden State has the better end of the deal. I know they're struggling, but when they have everything clicking, they're more professional. They, everyone thought that Chris Paul was going to go there and cause a lot of trouble. He has not. We're going to actually talk about him in a little bit. But he's been professional as far as being a teammate and doing what's asked of him. If you look at the numbers, of his turnover ratio is very low compared to what Jordan Poole does even now. But if we're talking in terms of the Golden State Warriors, Chris Paul doesn't have a lot of turnovers. He has a lot of assists, and he does score when needed. Obviously, their struggles is scoring, but at this point, he's not asked to do the heavy lifting, and he is not a player that can do the heavy lifting like he used to in his earlier years. But with that being said, he does have value. He's still a good player, and he can help the Golden State Warriors, and he's actually helping them where Jordan Poole is not engaged in the game like he should be. And that is what Kevin Garnett is talking about. He's not focused enough. He's not efficient enough. He's not playing hard enough. He has his mind on outside interests. And if you didn't hear the clip, he was talking about that. It was the one game where I believe Ruby Rose was there. I don't have a graph for her, but she was supposed to be going there to see him. And they were saying his mind wasn't even on the game. And he had a pretty bad game that game. It wasn't very good. But there's reports that they're trying to trade a lot of the players on that team already, especially him. They said it was a rumor, but I believe some of it is true, especially with the struggles that they're having right now. They're at the bottom of the league. They're not playing well. And, it's a disappointment for the city because they did make a few trades that look pretty good, including him. They felt a new situation would give him the confidence that he needed to be the star of the team that he wanted. He wanted the touches. He wanted to be the main focus, and he's got it, and he's blowing it. And if you go back and listen to Kevin Garnett earlier, about a week or so earlier, he was praising him. He was waiting for him to take that next leap. That's why he's so upset right now to see how he's playing and what he's doing. And Kevin Garnett is very high energy. He gives a lot to the game. And if you hear him talk about what he's done in over his 21 years, he does not respect guys that he feels are not giving their all. But that's all I got to say about that topic. Garnett does not feel like he belongs in the league, which is, is a stretch, but definitely, Jordan has to step it up. We're going to switch it here. I have a graph here of, I thought this was pretty interesting about Russell Westbrook. This popped on my internet feed today, my media feed, and I'm not the only one. I can't be crazy. I used to always remember his jump shot, that mid-range was lethal. And the last few stops, it has not been. I don't know what happened. Maybe when he turned over to, I remember when he had PG over there that year, maybe that's when it declined. But yeah, before then, man, he was almost automatic from that mid-range spot. He pull up and just hit it. And you can see Lethal Shooters talking about it in the comments. He's saying he was automatic. He says he basically needs to have the ball in his hand more to get that rhythm that he needs to get that mid-range shot back. But yeah, Russ used to have that lethal shot. And if he brings that back somehow, man, he'll be even more valuable to a team, even though I think what he does bring when he's allowed to do it is very valuable anyway. But yeah, I thought that was interesting seeing that graphic there about Russell having that mean mid-range shot. And other news is probably the main news of the night that I had. Well, one of the main news is the rumor about the Orlando Magic, who already played, and they just won, and they're very, very good this season. I'm actually trying to pull up their standing records here. They are 11-5, number 2 in the conference, in the Eastern Conference. But they're saying, they're going to trade one of these point guards here, Fultz or what's my man name? Cole Anthony. And Cole, I believe they're going to probably do Cole Anthony. His name was in trade rumors this summer, and they didn't move him. They brought him in. I thought it was, kind of weird that they were shopping him because the team looked very good last year. In my opinion, the youth of that team, I thought he was very key figure in that. And trying to pull the records up so you can see it. But for him to already be in trade rumors this summer, and I didn't really hear Markelle Fultz, I think that he's going to be the one that they're probably going to try to move out. And I don't know whether it's for salary, but they're saying they're going to make those two compete for the spot, and then whoever wins it out, they're going to move one of them. Obviously, they may not do it by trade deadline or whenever the contracts are available. I believe in January, where players can be moved. I believe a little bit in December as well, but they might wait because they're playing so well. But I do believe he's the one that's probably going to get moved. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section. Tell me what you think about who you think is going to get moved, and do you like Orlando? I like them. I think they're a team that could be a very, very powerhouse in the future. They're one of those young teams, and they're taking that turn right now, which I would like to see from other teams, especially my Detroit Pistons. That's not going to happen right now, but Orlando's looking really good. And other news, I have Danilo Gallinari is expected to be moved as well. Another rumor from Washington. I almost forgot he was there. Boston moved on from him this summer. That was another reason why I felt like this past year that Boston could have done something. They didn't really need Porzingis. I know a lot of people are liking Porzingis. I'm not. He's doing better right now, but I really wasn't, keen on him. But they had Danilo, they had Brogdon, they had the guy just cut his hair from San Antonio. He plays for Boston. What's his name again? Shoot. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, he's a defender and a scorer. And I felt they had enough pieces, and of course Marcus Smart, to do what they needed to do to get back to the finals. I didn't think they really needed that move. Of course, Porzingis is lengthy in size and he can shoot the three. But I felt they had enough with those guys, especially if you brought them back and let them see what they can do together. But right now they're at the top of the division, and a guy named Derek White. Derek White. I don't know why I be forgetting his name. I could see his face, couldn't think of his name. But yeah, they're 12-4, top of the division. They're probably tied with Minnesota, best record in the league. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, I do like Danilo. Danilo is, off the catch, off the dribble. He can hit the shot well on the right team. And if he's healthy, he can definitely help him out quite a bit. What do you guys think he should be moved at? Let me know. And also, I'm going to pull this graph back up. What do you think about Russell? Do you think that was a correct assessment of even by a lethal shooter? He was a great shooter, by the way. Look him up on his Instagram and his social medias. You think that, this was a spot on analysis of Russell's jump shot? And we're going to pull this up here. Here's another topic that I saw. Let's pull this up right here. Russell's former teammate, Kevin Durant, and I don't have the graph up, but the same night that LeBron James went for 39,000 points, most in NBA history. I don't know if he's internationally passed everybody yet. I forgot the guy's name. He's a Hall of Famer. He had like 41,000 points or something. But he passed Elgin Hayes and went up to like 18th on the all-time list or something. But my thing about LeBron James is we know that he is a guy that wants to play with Bronny. He wants that 5th championship, even a 6th championship, to try to fight off the shadows of Jordan, the ghost of Jordan. But also, any player likes stats. People call them a stat pattern, all that, whatever. If you play ball before or any kind of ball, you want your stats to look good. Everybody stat pads a little bit. They want to do well in the game. But I'm thinking that he's also playing a little bit longer to try to make sure this man doesn't catch him. Kevin Durant he's still young enough. He's a shooter. He doesn't really rely on athleticism per se. If he can play 20-something years or whatever, he might surpass LeBron James if LeBron retires. I believe that's another reason LeBron is trying to push it further and further away from Kevin Durant so that he can't take the title away from him. Because there's a lot of players that are not going to want to play 21 seasons. LeBron's possibly going to play at least 23, 24, 25 seasons in the league. That's a lot. It's going to be, I think, probably the most ever in the league. And I don't know if Kevin Durant's going to do that, but if he does, he has a great shot of catching LeBron. And I think LeBron's trying to knock this out the park. So even if Durant plays that amount of time, he won't catch him, especially with the playoff points as well combined, which LeBron is the all-time leading scorer in that. They don't ever pull that graph up, but he has, I forgot how many points. He's definitely got well over the 40,000 with the playoffs combined. But what do you guys think about it? You think he's doing some of his extra play so Kevin Durant can't pass him? Both all-time greats. I love both their games. They play the game a little bit differently, have different skill sets, but definitely I think LeBron's trying to shoo him away from that scoring championship. He wants that to himself, like Wilt has all the records in the record book. But let me know in the comment section, type it out, and tell me what you think about that. We're going to move on to something that I talked about this past week, and I said I was going to jump back into the pod and tell you what I thought. It was the fight, the Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos fight. I finally watched all of it. Again, I told you ESPN didn't promote this to me correctly, with Shakur being a very well-known name and a future star. But that fight, he took a lot of criticism online, man. He went viral. Ryan Davis, Ryan Garcia, Ryan Davis, the comedian, Ryan Garcia, King Garcia, I believe, Devin Haney, his rival, all kind of, went after him about it being a bad performance. But when I watched it, he just boxed. He didn't try to do anything flashy. It's insinuated that he had a broken left hand. And if you watch the fight, he didn't throw that hand pretty much. He was jabbing. And De Los Santos couldn't do anything. He had great footwork, great defenses, almost a la Floyd Mayweather. He couldn't really hit him, and he just hit him with the jab. Every time he tried to force his way in, he kept hitting him with the jab and scoring boxing scores, basically CompuBox scores, so he can win the fight. And they scored it where he pretty much won at least 10 of the 12 rounds. I had Los Santos having a couple more rounds, but Shakur was definitely just boxing and playing defense. And I didn't see it. It was a boring fight per se. If you want action, if you want a knockout, you're looking for the hands being thrown. Yeah, it was boring in that sense. But if the name of the game is to win the fight, you do what you have to. And if he was really hurt, he did what he had to do to protect himself and get the fight over with and win the championship. Excuse me. Floyd Mayweather fights in his later part of his career the way he does with the defense, because he broke his hand so many times that if he threw it hard enough, he was probably going to break it again in the fight. So that's why he switched his style up, became more defensive. If you watched, not Money Making Mayweather, but if you watch Pretty Boy Floyd, those years, he was coming at you like Tank comes at you, or some of the other fighters where they just coming straight at you, hitting you with everything they got with full power and force. He backed away from that and became more defensive and preserved his body more. And of course, got all that money in the meantime. And that's what Shakur did this last fight. Shout out to him. I'm sure he'll bounce back, but he's definitely getting that roast from his community because he didn't take the contract to fight Haney. I believe I don't know what the reason was. They calling him a duck, but whatever it is, probably wanted to wait it out and try to get his bag and his rhythm up before he fights him. But that fight will definitely happen in the future. Still undefeated. They're still young. And I'm sure promotions will do what they can to get that going and make it more box office. All right, guys, we're going to switch gears here. And let me pull this graph up before we move on to the next thing. It's happened a few nights ago, and this is about the Hall of Famer, the future Hall of Famer, CP3. He had a run-in with the infamous Scott Foster. They keep getting into it. Don't know the full details of why they do, but he did give his response, and I'm going to play that here for you now.
You were chirping at Scott Foster a bit, so I was just wondering, KD drew contact, he went to the line, and you were...
Yeah, it's personal. Yeah, we had a situation some years ago, and it's personal. You know what I mean? Like, the league know, everybody know, it's been a meeting and all that, and it's just a situation with my son, and so it's... so I'm okay with a ref talking, saying whatever, saying just don't use a tech to get your point across. You know what I mean? So I got to do a better job making sure I stay on the floor for my teammates. But yeah, that's that.
You said it's a situation with your son?
Yeah, they know what it is. He know what it is too. So
we don't know what it is.
Yeah. It's just I had a meeting with him, my dad, Doc Rivers, Bob Delaney, and all that, so. Yeah.
Scott Foster?
Yeah, him too.
Is that back when you were with Houston?
With the Clippers. So.
Did you come out of that meeting thinking?
It was a whole thing, man, but it's still been a thing for a while. So. I ain't saying nothing to get fined, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is at this point.
You heard what Chris Paul had to say there in his response to being tossed out of the game. These two have been having history for quite a while. As you can see here, he's in Houston there. He's in Phoenix here. And, something about his son, that's nasty work. I don't know what grown man I don't care if I don't like you, and I'm not bringing your family into that, especially a kid. And that's wrong for Scott Foster. There's no reason to do that, whatever it is. And the league definitely needs to get involved. There's no reason at all that Scott Foster should referee any games that Chris Paul is on. He may not end up in Golden State for the rest of the season. There's a chance they might move on from him. But wherever he goes, they definitely need to make sure Scott Foster is not the referee. If you look at the record right here, it says that Scott Foster in the playoffs, he only has a 2-17 record. That I don't believe that's a coincidence. They can say that he's calling it down the middle. If you listen to some of the rogue referees, I forgot the guy's name, I think it's Donahue. Those referees absolutely hold grudges. They have certain players that they don't like, and they call unnecessary calls on purpose throughout the game. And the buddies and the cronies, the fraternity, or whatever you want to call it, the union of referees, they buddy up together and they'll team up on with each other for different players that they don't like. They even said they were kind of like making bets with each other on it. So whatever the case may be, if they clean this up and they don't want to stain on the resume, they absolutely need to make sure these two are nowhere near each other. It doesn't make any sense at this point to have him in his games. It's costing his team games. It's costing him putting, I just talked about stat padding, but hey, it's costing him more stats for his record book to put in his Hall of Fame career. All of that stuff, tape for other teams to see him, that they might want him if the Golden State Warriors decide to move on from him. That's very tough. I think it's crazy to have him at this point put in his games, in a league absolutely needs to stop that going forward from right now. Like, there should not be another game that he referees that Chris Paul is in. No, not at all. Even if Chris Paul is injured, he should not be in the building to referee the team. I think he needs to, I know he's one of the top refs, but they can find other work for him during the night. And if it's the playoffs, hey, find something else that he can do that he'll be able to make his bonus or whatever. But if it's Chris Paul in the conference finals or Chris Paul in the finals, he should absolutely not be able to referee those games. But absolutely, what do you guys think about that? You know how I am. I want you to comment section, tell me what you think about it. It's pretty despicable that they would let that happen. But let's move forward here. Let's move forward on with the show. We're kind of moving along. I wonder how you guys' holidays were. Let's put on some more. Let me see how the score is. I'll tell you what the score is since we're live. It's still halftime. Yep, still no. Okay, it's not halftime. The Suns are up 81-73 on the Memphis Grizzlies in the end of the third quarter. The Suns are up on the Memphis Grizzlies 81-73 end of the third quarter. Yes. In-season tournament. We got more games coming on pretty soon. I hope you're enjoying your holiday. For me, I'm probably going to try to get that NBA 2K. If you've been on the platform for quite a while now, I've been talking about it. I have not gotten it. This is the cheapest I've seen it. I wanted the Mamba edition, but for some reason, they will not lower that price. They're keeping it at the $99. I think I seen maybe Target that had it for $87, but the regular edition, I believe, is like $34 or $26, depending on what you're getting, what system you're getting it on. And if you're a Madden fan, because we're talking sports on here, if you're a Madden fan, go ahead and get you the Madden. I've seen that for about $20-something, $30. And me, and we'll segue to this right now. Actually, WWE 2K is on sale as well. I'll probably end up getting that as well. I think I seen that for as low as $25 $5, and then if you want to get the ultimate edition or whatever they call it, that is like $55. But they're pricing these games like $120, so it's pretty much regular price for regular video games, where before they started price gouging and all this stuff. But as we segue into this topic, the WWE tomorrow is, excuse me, sorry about that. The WWE is going to have the Survivor Series tomorrow. I don't know if you guys are going to be excited about that or not. But I am, as I've always been a fan of the WWE. I like all of the companies right now. I think it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It's almost like being back in territory days. But Survivor Series is one of the original 4 pay-per-views. They're going to have war games with 2 rings and teams fighting each other. Cody's part of it. The women are going to have theirs. The Women's World Championship is on the line with Rhea, and also Gunther and Miz, which I talked about on the platform. But yeah, I'm excited about watching it. I want to see if CM Punk is going to show up to the event. That would be very interesting to see if that actually happens. But the rumor is that it is not going to be him. It's probably someone like Kenta that's going to show up. And that maybe if he does show up, which I thought was a better option in the first place, he's going to show up at the Royal Rumble, which would be, I think, would be a bigger pop for him as he comes back into the WWE universe. I think that the fans would enjoy it quite a bit. And yeah, I think that that the Royal Rumble needs a little pop going as well. We're already going to have, what's his name? Randy Orton coming back, and you possibly got Kenta or Brock Lesnar maybe showing up. So it might be overkill doing CM Punk. But if he does show up, you do know it's going to be crazy in the building. Those fans are going to go loud. They're going to go nuts because it's in his hometown of Chicago. So, definitely make sure you check it out if you're a wrestling fan. I'm going to tune into it at least if I can on replay. I'm going to try to catch it live. But definitely tomorrow I'm going to be tuning in to it. All right, guys. Again, if anything I do, always let me know in the comment section what you're thinking. I like to know what you're thinking about the topics that we're talking about here. And of course, sports game vision. Support the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we are going to move on to a topic we were already talking about, and I didn't finish what I was talking about, but it's Jordan Poole again. Absolutely. We're going to talk about Jordan Poole right here. I believe he's on some cap, man. He's on some capulation. He finally came out and said that it was a lie about the $500,000 Ice Spice date. And we know, all the fans know that Jordan Poole loves them women, right? He play extra hard when they come in the building, but he's saying now it's straight fabrication. I don't know, man. Us guys, man, we do a lot of crazy things for money, for women with money. And, he got a superstar on his hands from New York. And she's got a lot of hits right now. She's very popular. He maybe wanted that date really bad. Maybe he wanted to win. Well, he's not doing well. If he won that in-season tournament, he'd have that money put back in his pocket that possibly he paid. If he'd go out there and show it out for the Washington Wizards, he should have played for it. He'd have got his money back. But yeah, we all spend our money on things and people, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that he actually did it. Of course he's not going to admit it. That's a lot of money. That's a lot more than most people ever see in their lifetime. And as you see right here, they put this up. She actually has a Chia Pet coming out. That's going to be, I'm sure she got paid pretty well for that. So her merchandising and sponsorship game is on popping right now. Yeah, definitely take advantage of all the spotlight that you can while you got it. And especially our guy, Jordan Poole, how I feel. he needs to step it up, and that's with the last clip that we talked about with him. That's why Kevin Garnett was a little upset with him, and even his guy Patrick Beverly saying it's a show out there that the Washington Wizards aren't performing the way they should. He feels like they can lose a ton of games this year. They're looking like they will. But with that being said, I thought that was quite hilarious that, it came out that he didn't date Ice Spice for that $500,000 mark. I don't know if I could do that, man. That's a lot of money. I'd have to have a lot of money. I mean, I'm talking about Bill Gates money, Elon Musk money to do that type of stuff. He's a millionaire playing billionaire games. So, yeah, but hey, the heart wants what the heart wants, right? But let's move on, guys, to the next topic. We're going to talk about pretty much the news of the last few days, which has been pretty crazy. We're going to play a small clip. It's from your guy, Josh Giddey. He has no comments right now about what's going on. The NBA is launching an investigation into Josh Giddey for allegedly having a relationship with a minor. Wow, that is very, very crazy. Here's what he had to say here.
I get the question, guy, and I completely understand you guys want to know about it, but just for right now, I don't have anything to say.
Every game over the past couple of days, there's some pretty serious allegations. I know nothing is concrete there, but is there anything you can say as to this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the question, obviously, but no, there's no further comment right now.
Well, you heard what he had to say there. It's a lot going on. Teammates are even unfollowing him on the social media. They don't want to be a part of this drama, this possible felony criminal act. I didn't put all the pictures. I didn't really want to put the pictures of the young lady that they have it over to social media. You can go look it up. But yeah, she's supposedly a minor. She even on those social media videos saying that it actually happened. It was actually real. I don't understand it. I didn't understand it when I was younger. I don't understand it now, especially to a guy who has a lot at his doorstep. He doesn't need to try to go to below him to reach down and, I don't want to say take away her innocence, but basically manipulate or take advantage of. But, this is kind of a situation, as you can see this picture here of the legend or the Hall of Famer, who was the third all-time leading scorer. Karl Malone had his own issues with this when he was around Giddy's age. If you go research, you'll see that he had an issue with a minor. I think she was like 13, and he ended up having a child, and he was like 19 or 20. So this is very, very eerie, very, very similar. And the NBA definitely covered that up. And I believe they're going to do everything they can to block this from being a big thing. All the investigators, all their money is going to be in trying to protect this because it hurts the league's image, not just Josh Giddey. It hurts the league if they have this coming out. So they're going to do what they can to protect him. But if they can't, then, he's going to go by the wayside. It's going to definitely more than likely ruin his career, especially in the social world now. He's going to definitely get canceled. And it's even the league's probably going to have to let him go because they're going to have so much pressure on them now with all the cameras and mics, and got the blogs and the websites like, Sports Game Vision. There's going to be so much pressure on them. They're going to have to let him go. If this comes out to be true and it becomes charges put against him, the league is definitely going to have to move on. And of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to have to move on from him as well. But but let's see what happens. it's a very tough situation to be in, but he definitely put himself in that. There's too many adults out there that you could be with that would love to take advantage, like you took advantage, right? If they're allegedly, and let's say allegedly, but it's a very sad and shocking situation to be in. I know the Oklahoma City Thunder fans are probably scratching their heads. They're getting things turned around, and this pops up, something ridiculous and crazy. And again, there's a lot of video evidence on the social medias, so you can check it out. I didn't really want to post it on here. You can look it up. But, it's not looking good for this young man here. And the league is going to do what they can to save face. But if they got to let him, fall down on this case, they absolutely will do that to make sure they protect the brand, the NBA league, the global brand it is becoming. And it's already a global brand, but they're trying to expand even more. As I've said on the channel, I believe last week, they're trying to go back to Vancouver, and they're trying to get into Mexico City. And they're going to keep on trying to expand the league to, become the more dominant sport around the world. But, something like this can hold it up from possibly, making that expansion like they want to. So, yeah, you better pray, boy, that these lawyers and these people that are working in league offices can make sure this goes away. But with social media here being the giant that it is, I don't know how far they can do to save them. All right, guys, we're going to switch gears here. We're going to talk about another young man that had some issues going on, and that is Kai Jones. He is in the social media world today talking about what happened over there in Charlotte. And I want you to take a listen to what he had to say.
I love the whole situation in Charlotte. I wish that we could have continued, but I think it's for the better that I just moved on.
What do you think was like the final straw in Charlotte? Because I know you requested a trade before they waived you, or what was that? So like, what was the final straw in Charlotte?
So they were a little concerned about the social media stuff, right?
Yep.
And they were concerned about my sleeping patterns. They're like, bro, because my great grandma had just passed away.
Yeah.
And they're like, we hope that isn't like bothering you too much. And I was going through some things off the floor, like any person is. And they were like, man, Kai, we just want you to get right. We want you to see a therapist. At this time, I'm stubborn. I'm like, bro, I do not want to see a therapist. I just want to meditate and like clear my head and figure out on my own, use my intuition to figure out my own issues.
Yep.
But they're like, nah, you should go to a therapist. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to go to one, right? So anyway, they're like, all right, Kai, please go to therapy. I end up going, right? I feel like the therapy's not helping. And Mitch tells me I'm not allowed to do training camp. When he tells me that was when I was like, yo, I'm off of this team. Like, how can I play here? They're not letting me do training camp. Like, they're not allowing me to try out for my position, right? So I'm upset. I'm like, yo, I just want to leave now. I'm gonna leave, and I just decided to leave. And then after a couple of days, like after you request a trade,
yep.
So Mitch was like, nobody was really gonna. We feel like you don't have any trade value. That's what Mitch told me.
Yeah.
I said, why not? I don't know. I'm breaking it down to him why I think I do, right? And he doesn't think I do. So I'm like, okay, fine. They waive me, and I'm like, 2 days later, I go work out with another team. I'm not going to say what team. I work out with another.
We heard what he had to say there, guys. He had some mental health things going on. We kind of knew that he did from seeing those wild videos. I don't know if you got to see any. I didn't post any of that out here, but you can go look it up. He's a young gentleman. Pretty tall. I believe he's close to like 7 feet, like 6'10" or so, athletic. Excuse me here. I think that he I think he's got a little bit more work to do on his jump shot, but he talked about that in one of the clips there as well. The reason why he had to go to the G League and they wouldn't put him on a roster, even though he had the raw talent and athleticism and the hard work that he put in. He wasn't efficient enough with his shot to be on the roster, but he worked his way in. And then now he had this hiccup where he lost somebody in his life that meant a lot to him. And if you have ever had that in your life, which I have had several times, it's crushing and it can make you do some crazy things, which we kind of saw he did during the summer, but he was going through something. And instead of really trying to stick there and help the man, they kind of part ties with him. It was mutual in some ways. I think at the end of the clip, I believe he was saying the Rockets or the Rafters. But hopefully he gets to another situation where he can flourish. You know, he's still young. From the interview, he seems like he's got his head on straight. And now it's all about putting the skill on the floor to pay the bills and getting that opportunity and just keeping the social media, stay off social media for now as far as posting anything that I know he says he likes to live free and different, but you don't want to make these teams scared to bring you on a team again. So just kind of keep some of that clear so that you can get back on the roster. But I think someone will give him an opportunity again. It's just a matter of time. He has to wait it out. All right, guys, we're going to switch it up again. And we're going to talk about this topic here. It's another news topic. This is the NFL. And this is something that I've kind of had on my channel already. Amazon is paying $1 billion a year to stream Thursday night football until 2023. $1 billion a year to have the exclusive stream for Thursday night football through 2023. They will pay another $100 million to stream first ever Black Friday game. I probably need to look that up too. But it's also to incentivize you to stay home, to buy online, and just watch football. But I bring this up because, yes, it's Sports Game Vision, so we're definitely going to talk about it. That's a huge deal, streaming deal. It affects the way we enjoy the game and the way we cover the game. But I talked about this on here. I believe the NBA is definitely going to go with Amazon. And if you remember this past year when Kyrie Irving, what was that, about a year or so ago, was going through his whole thing with the the talk on his social media platform that got him in trouble. It was all because it was on Amazon's platform, right? That's where he got it from. And the league didn't say anything. They didn't say anything about that. Few people did bring it up, but the league didn't say anything. And the reason why is because they're negotiating with Amazon to go on their platform so they can have some packages like this NFL. They're probably going to get that $1 billion plus extra money. That's a lot of money. So they don't need Josh Giddies and all these other guys messing that up. The league is going to do what they got to do to protect the league. But I just thought it was interesting that, that's a lot of money for just, a year, $1 billion a year. So imagine what the NBA can do. And they broadcast a lot of their games, probably some in-season tournament play, some finals play, some conference finals play. Maybe they come up with their own kind of Black Friday game or something special, the Christmas games, all type of games that they can do to, put on the platform and give it specifically for Amazon and get a little bit extra cash in turn. But with that said, as I look at the score, it looks like the Miami Dolphins took care of those New York Jets 34-13 today in this Black Friday game. The Dolphins are 8-3 and the Jets are 4-7. They don't look like they're going to probably make the playoffs this year after that, rough start and then losing Aaron Rodgers. But Miami looks like they're playoff bound. And wow, I didn't even really know about it until I pulled this rap, but I was pulling the show together, so I couldn't really tune into that, trying to get the show on the road for everybody here. As I look towards the score right now, we've got the Phoenix Suns are still on top of the Memphis Grizzlies 102-85 with 2:45 left in the fourth quarter. I like to give live updates when I'm doing my show. I'm updating you now, letting you know what's going on with the NBA in-season tournament. But let's go here. This is probably one of my last things we'll cover here. It's your guy, Dillon Brooks. That's right. He feels that they made him a scapegoat in Memphis. And we were talking to some guy who I were talking to on the show that I felt that they did make him a scapegoat, especially with the whole Ja Morant situation going on down there. They made Dillon take the fall kind of with that whole situation. But Philly was a big cog in that wheel, and they're feeling it right now. They're not doing well. They actually, like I said, they're losing to the Phoenix Suns right now, 104-85. And they're 3-11 on the season. And, Dillon Brooks feels like if he was there, possibly that wouldn't be the case. And if you remember last year when Ja went out, Dillon Brooks was playing really well, and they were holding the team together while he was out. He was a big part of that, and I think people really forgot about it. Yeah, he got into my favorite player, LeBron, and all that, but hey, that's what he does. He's the villain, as you'll see here. He says he likes to play that role very well. He's very confident in himself, and he's willing to play the role. And he feels like even LeBron said he deserved the money that he got for Houston. And they said the Grizzlies miss him. I'm like the girlfriend that you used to have. You don't know how good she is until she's gone. Now, with that said, there was some fireback words from Tony Allen, who said, "You the same chick I saw what LeBron did, 37, 9, and 8. He's still getting his butt bust. We ain't missing nothing." So, yeah, Tony Allen letting them know, it's a clip on the internet talking about it a little bit further, that, he feels like Memphis will be okay without him. And I do believe Memphis will turn it around. Once they get everybody back, it's going to be a tough route to make a play-in or anything this year. Doesn't mean it can't be done. We saw what the Lakers did last year with their 2-10 start. Ja is going to come back. You're going to get some other key pieces back. But it's, Houston is looking really good right now. And I think he was a good fit in Memphis. And I think he's a little bit hurt they didn't stick up for him and really wanted to keep him around. We know it's a business. And financially, maybe they felt that they needed to pay. I know they paid Desmond Bain recently. Maybe they feel they needed to free up some more space for somebody else. Maybe I don't know if Jaren Jackson got his money. Triple J got his money yet, but somebody has to go by the wayside sometimes when those type of decisions have to be made, and sometimes it's nasty work to get it done. They'll diminish your value on purpose, either try to make you sign for less, or that they can have a reason to get rid of you, and that's what happened here. But he still got his money, and if you watch basketball, you knew that he was a pretty good player. So it wasn't like, he wasn't. People kept saying China. That was kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie. I think he even chuckled over it a little bit. But, he's an NBA player. He showed you that in the World Cup, or that, World Championship game, that he was a really good player for his country, Canada. But that's all I got for you guys. Right now, score is 104-87. Suns over the Grizzlies, 1 minute and 27 seconds left. But definitely support the channel. I'm going to keep coming to you every Friday. Same time, same place. Might move it up a little bit, move it back a little bit, but we're going to be in the same slot to cover what's going on for the week in the sports world, especially the NBA is the focus. And as you see, Sports Game Vision. So we talk about all the stuff here on Friday Night Live. We talked about everybody in that graph there. So on the replay, check it out. And there'll be some post editing probably. I'm sure I'll do that. Hoodie Hank in the building. But like I said, if you guys, check out my other live stream. I did that, and I like it when it's really late, but I can't do that. I got other responsibilities to take care of. But my late night hype, I'm going to probably try to stick around Saturday, Sundays, Mondays, but Saturday, Sundays, and try to come in late and talk about the sports world, the NBA in particular. And, if I could pop in real late, that's even better, because probably I can get some people to come in on the show and chop it up It's a little bit more difficult when it's a little bit earlier because, again, I got to cut loose and make some things happen. But, again, follow everybody. Follow me. Follow all the content creators. Follow my boy BA and get your Bars Up Media. Follow my guy Sevens Mitchell at the Best of Seven Sports Talk and over there at Lakerland with the Player's Choice and all the other good all the other great content creators out there. Go support them, including myself. I know I'm new, but I'm doing my thing. I know I am. But with that said, guys, another edition of Friday Night Live. And as I say, my motto is sports game. You know the vision. Peace.